Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Arizona.
Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on a Sunday afternoon is brought to you by Sanderson Ford. It's the finale of this three-game set with the Brewers. Diamondbacks with a chance to take this series before visits this week to New York and to Boston. It's the D-backs and the Brewers on Fox Sports Arizona. Good afternoon from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume and Bob Brenly along the way. Your pitching matchup today, Archie Bradley on the mound for the Diamondbacks and Jimmy Nelson for Milwaukee. There is unfortunately more injury news for the D-backs. What else is new? Some good, some bad. Let's start with the bad. David Peralta is back on the DL for the third time this year. He hurt his wrist Friday making this catch.
Yeah, you heard Dave Stewart on the pregame show talking about everything that could go wrong has gone wrong this year, and it continues. David Peralta re-aggravating that right wrist, making a great play up against the wall in right field.
Right wrist inflammation, the same injury that kept him out for 26 games earlier this year. Now here's the good news. Socrates Brito activated and set to go tonight. He homered in Colorado on June 23rd, and then later in that game fouled this ball off his foot and fractured a toe.
We've seen Socrates Brito really good at times. Hopefully fully recovered from that foot injury. They could really use his bat and speed in the lineup right now.
So Socrates Brito is here. A.J. Pollock may be back soon. He played in a rookie league game Friday in Tempe. He goes to Visalia to rehab with the Class A Rawhide tomorrow.
His rehabilitation has really been remarkable. Way ahead of schedule. Going to start playing games this week and hopefully come back to the big leagues very soon.
Trying to return from that fractured left elbow. AJ says he's 100% healthy. Archie Bradley set to go up against Jimmy Nelson. It's the D-backs and the Brewers from Chase Field. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Double Jack Burger today, only at Jack in the Box. By Oregano's. Step up to the plate for a guaranteed home run at Oregano's, your neighborhood pizza joint, location statewide. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you get more standard features for less money. Phoenix, Arizona, set to go for the series finale, the Brewers and the Diamondbacks. But before we get underway, we honor America. Here now, the voice of Chase Field, Mr. Chuck Drago.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and please remove your hats. Please direct your attention to the field as we honor the United States of America and pay tribute to our veterans, active duty, and retired men and women of our armed services. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the Milwaukee Brewers invite you to join in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, performed by the Sounds of the Southwest Singers from Glendale, Arizona, under the direction of Matt Deller.
Baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By Lone Butte Casino. Get in on big wins. By Yancey's Fancy, New York's finest artisan cheese. And by Gigablast, 100 times more powerful internet from Cox. Bring on tomorrow. Set to go inside Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, Arizona. The Brewers and the Diamondbacks, the finale of this 3-game series, and the rubber match. Jonathan Villar steps in the box, and we are quickly underway here with ball one. Your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the D-backs is Archie Bradley, 4-7 in 15 starts, a 4.75 ERA. And Archie trying to bounce back after his worst start as a big leaguer last Monday against Washington here. 8 runs, 12 hits, and only 3 1/3.
Yeah, really good to start before against this Brewers team in Miller Park. 7 innings of 4-hit, 1-run baseball. And then really bad here against the Nationals last time out. 3 1/3, 12 hits, 7 runs. Just couldn't command anything.
2-1 on Jonathan Villar, who's had an excellent series for Milwaukee. That's in there for a strike, and it's 2-2. Villar, 306 and 8 homers. Craig Counsell says he has been a machine. 6 for 9 in the series. He's been on base all weekend long. 12 plate appearances in this series for Villar. He's got 6 hits. He's drawn 3 walks. 3 of his hits are doubles, and he's knocked in 2 runs. Fastball missed, and the count is full 3-2.
Well, as good as he's been in this series, you have to make Villar hit his way on base. You do definitely not want to put him on via the base on balls. This guy has 41 stolen bases, leading the major leagues. And would like to run quickly if he gets on base.
That's a tapper that will roll foul. Chris Siegel is our plate umpire this afternoon. He's got the balls and strikes. Brian O'Nora at first base. The crew chief Jeff Kellogg at second. And John Tumpain is at third. There's John. Archie beat these Brewers 2 starts ago at Miller Park. He pitched very well in that ball game. 1 run on 4 hits in 7 innings with 6 strikeouts. And Villar is going to keep this thing going. That start 2 outings ago at Milwaukee was the first time Archie Bradley went at least 7 innings since May 29th. So hopefully he can make it a repeat performance here today. 10th pitch of the at-bat on the way to start us off against Jonathan Villar. And we'll keep going.
Archie's start against these Brewers in Milwaukee was extremely odd in the bottom half of the first inning. Villar led it off with a double. Scooter Gennett walked. Another foul ball. Then Ryan Braun lined into a 9-3 double play. Villar still on at second base. He tried to steal third on the next pitch, and Archie was out of the inning.
And that got Villar pulled from the ball game. That's the same game in which the Brewers committed 5 errors in the first 2 innings. 6 2-strike foul balls from Villar. Make it 7.
7.
Here's where they're working Jonathan Villar. A little bit of everything here. Mostly down and away. 13th pitch of this first at bat of the ball game coming up. Uncle. Pedro Martinez once said pitchers hate to throw pitches. And this is one of those situations. Boy, Villar, that's a Hall of Fame AB, a leadoff walk. His 4th walk in this series. The lineup for Craig Counsell's Brewers.
Well, we've seen Jonathan Villar. We've seen more of Jonathan Villar than we would like. Leading it off at third base. Orlando Arcia at shortstop. Ryan Braun out in left. Scooter Gennett at second base. Kirk Neuenhuis out in right field today. Keon Broxton with a big night last night. He's out in center field with Andy Wilkins at first base. Martin Maldonado doing the catching for Jimmy.
Jimmy Nelson gets the start today.
Jimmy's excited.
Jimmy's got a couple of losses on his resume in his last few starts. Here's Orlando Arcia, the rookie shortstop, and there goes Villar. First pitch. It gets away from Tuffy Gozawish, and that's stolen base number 42.
Boy, a walking lead. That's a no-no. This guy's the best steal man in baseball right now. You have to make him stop over there. That was just a gimme stolen base that time for Villar.
1-0 on Orlando Arcia. Arcia had a couple of singles last night. He also walked twice. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. Arcia 3 for 16 in his very brief big league career. All 3 hits in this series. There's that knuckle curveball that Archie Bradley likes to throw. 2-1 now.
Just to illustrate the effect of that first at bat by Villar, a typical inning, an average inning in the major leagues, I believe, is 16 to 17 pitches, maybe 17 and a half pitches this year. Archie's already thrown 17, has yet to retire a batter.
Bounced over the mound. Chris Owings behind the bag. Villar moves over to third, 1 away. Our eye on defense for the D-backs today is brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Ricky Weeks Jr., the former Brewer, out in left field this afternoon with Michael Bourne in center. Yasmani Tomas over in right. It'll be Lamb and Owings on the left side of the infield with Segura and Goldschmidt manning the right side. Tuffy Gozawish getting a start behind the plate today for right-hander Archie Bradley.
Big night last night for Ryan Braun, who is 4th in the National League in hitting now, .324, and with 18 home runs. A pair of 3-run homers last night. He had a career high 7 runs batted in. Infield in for the Diamondbacks with Villar at third and 1 out. This was Ryan Braun last night.
One up onto the home run porch just to the left, a straightaway center, and then an opposite field shot, line drive variety, about 4 rows up into the bleachers.
You may recall a couple of years ago when Evan Marshall hit Ryan Braun and was thrown out of the ball game after the benches had been warned, and was met at the top step of the Diamondback dugout by a high five from his manager at the time, Kirk Gibson. And Braun was, I think the next batter, Lucroy, hit a grand slam, but Braun was asked about homering off Marshall for that first 3-run homer last night and just kind of brushed it off.
I think Ryan Braun has had his fill of controversy.
Yes. Speaking of which, did you see A-Rod's tearful farewell ceremony this morning? His last game will be Friday. He's retiring as a player this week.
Well, looking at his numbers, he retired earlier this summer. Just didn't tell anybody.
That one goes behind Tuffy, and Villar will score. It's 1-0 Milwaukee. Wild pitch charged to Archie Bradley.
Spiked fastball. Tuffy just tries to backhand that one out in front, hits off the mask and gets far enough away for Villar to score. A walk, a stolen base, a ground out, a wild pitch. Archie still has his no-hitter intact.
But he's trailing 1-0, a 2-2 count on Braun. This is the way the first inning went last night for Patrick Corbin when the Brewers got 2 in the first. Patrick had a couple of walks in that inning. And we've seen it far too often for D-back starters this year. It's been a recurrent theme. That one missed, and the count is full 3-2. Fly ball deep to center. Michael Bourne is out there. 2 outs. Trying to limit the damage. Scooter Gennett now, the diminutive second baseman, batting cleanup for Craig Counsell today. You don't see a lot of cleanup hitters who check in at 5'10", 185.
But you don't see a lot of guys 5'10", 185 that put a charge on the ball the way Scooter Gennett has against the Diamondbacks this year. Hit that ball off the scoreboard at Miller Park.
9 home runs. He's 2 for 10 in the series with a double and an RBI.
Oh, by the way, Jonathan Villar's 14 pitch at bat to lead off the game, tied for the most in the majors this season with Odubel Herrera against Mike Pelfrey back on May 23rd.
Boy, the way Odubel gets out of the box, that at bat must have taken 15 minutes.
Yep. Pretty good chance.
He's one of the worst defenders there is. I think we put a clock on him earlier this year. 1-1 on Scooter. Jonathan Villar, a walk, a stolen base, ground ball moved him over, wild pitch got him in. 1-2 on Gennett. Oh, Tuffy was halfway to the dugout that time, but Chris Siegel says no, and it's 2-2.
Good pitch.
Yep. Pitch number 30 in the first inning on the way from Archie Bradley. On the ground to shortstop for Chris Owings. It took 30 pitches. The Brewers failed to get a base hit, but they put a run up on the board. Diamondbacks coming up. Is Jimmy Nelson, 27-year-old right-hander, 6-10 in 22 starts. Jimmy was beaten by the Diamondbacks at Miller Park on the last road trip. He's lost, in fact, his last 3 starts.
Yeah, Jimmy's defense didn't do him any favors in that start back at Miller Park, but he did give up 8 base hits in 4 2/3 in that ball game. Followed that up with an outing against the Padres, gave up 8 hits and 6 runs in 4 innings.
Take a look at the lineup for Chip Hale's D-backs against Jimmy Nelson.
Segura at second base leading it off. Michael Bourne in center field. Paul Goldschmidt down at first. Jake Lamb over at third. Yasmani Tomas in right field with Ricky Weeks Jr. in left. Chris Owings at short. Tuffy Gosawish doing the catching, and Archie Bradley on the mound.
Gene Segura set to lead it off. Segura 308 and 10 homers. A couple of hits last night, including that 10th home run. He was 0 for 5 Friday in the opener. Hard grounder to second, right to Scooter Gennett. Well, it only took Jimmy 2 pitches to get his first out. Little different from Archie Bradley. Our eye on defense for Milwaukee, brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Ryan Braun in left. Keon Broxton in center field with Kirk Neuenhuis in right field. Hit it to right. Jonathan VR at third. Orlando Arcia at shortstop. Scooter Gennett at second. Andy Wilkins over at first base with Martin Maldonado doing the catching for Jimmy.
Jimmy's facing Michael Bourne. Michael at 248, couple of home runs this year. Brewers have their road blue tops on today, and Martin Maldonado has really got some flashy catcher's gear back there, BB.
Yeah, looks a little bit too much like Michigan.
Yeah, him go blue. Yeah, I can see how an Ohio guy wouldn't like that color combo. 3-0 to Michael Bourne. Michael has 1 hit in the series, a double Friday night. 2 for his last 22 at the plate. Full count, 3-2.
Thinking about that catcher's gear from Maldonado, I hearken back to my youth in Coshocton, Ohio. We had Little League football.
Oh, like Pop Warner?
Yeah, I don't even think Pop Warner had been born then, but we only had enough kids to field 4 teams. And since, you know, we were close to Columbus, Ohio, one of the teams was Ohio State, one was Michigan, one was Iowa, and one was Michigan State. And if you found out you were on Michigan, kids used to cry. They'd go home. I don't want to play if I have to wear that.
Well, that's got to be taught.
Oh, yeah.
Handed down from generation to generation, the great Ohio State-Michigan rivalry.
Although people that live there will tell you it's genetic.
You might be right. And that's going to reach the seats and out of play. What team were you on?
I was on Iowa. The Hawkeyes.
Wearing the black and gold.
Black and gold. And I think back to those days. Those helmets we used to wear to play football were like the ones you give away on helmet day at the stadium.
Eat ice cream out of them now.
Yeah. We were knocking heads in those things.
A one-out walk for Michael Bourne. Time now, Bob, for your Valley Honda dealer. Key to the game.
Well, the key for any pitcher is to get some early support from his offense. The Diamondbacks have made some noise offensively, but usually it's too late. Give Archie an early lead in this ball game to see if he can't run away and hide.
Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie takes a cut at the first pitch, and it's 0-1. All in there at 295 with 17 home runs. 2 for 8 in the series. He doubled last night. He's also walked twice. Jimmy Nelson with a 1-out base on balls to Michael Bourne. The walks have become a real issue for Jimmy. He's walked at least 4 batters in a ball game 7 times. And over his last 7 starts, he has struck out 28, but walked 22. And with that walk to Bourne, he is now 2nd in the National League in bases on balls, behind only Francisco Liriano, who is now in the American League with the Blue Jays. But he's ahead of Goldie, 0-2.
Well, Nelson generally has to really do a good job of limiting the opposing offense because his team generally doesn't score when he's on the mound. 6th lowest run support in the National League, 3.88. He's had 2 or fewer runs of support in 10 of his 22 starts this year.
Jimmy needs some runs.
He needs a little help.
That one kicks away from Maldonado, and Michael Bourne moves up. He's looking at 3rd, and he'll settle for 2nd. Wild pitch charged to Jimmy Nelson.
Slider over in the dirt. We've seen a couple of balls in the dirt get right to that area of Martin Maldonado, off of his right hip and underneath his right arm. He's not shifting his body out there far enough to block that ball. 15 pitches into the game for Jimmy, and that's his first slider in the ball game, and it went to the backstop.
2-2 on Goldie. A bouncer to shortstop. Arcia on the short hop, but he makes a nice throw. Michael Bourne has to stay put. There are 2 outs.
Well, we saw Arcia do this in the ball game last night. Extend that glove hand out in front of his body and smother that ball on the short hop. Throws on the move to get Goldie at first base.
They're very excited about this young man. Just turned 22 years old a few days ago. The #1 prospect in their system. And one of the top 10 prospects in all of baseball heading into the season this year. So Bourne at 2nd, 2 down for Jake Lamb. 282 and 23 home runs. He leads the Diamondbacks in homers. Jake has 3 hits in the series, all singles. He's now hit safely in 4 straight games and 7 of his last 8. One and one. Maldonado with that catcher's gear back there. He looks like one of the Transformers. You ever watch those movies?
Yeah, heard of it.
Looks like that Bumblebee, the one that turns into a car.
Very color coordinated. Shoes match the shinnies, match the chest protector, matches the mask.
Got some swag.
Yeah.
Base hit for Lamb. And Williams waving Bourne home. Here's the throw from Ryan Braun. And he is out of there. Maldonado limps away. He got slid into on that play by Bourne. Chip Hale on the top step of the dugout. The Brewers catcher limping away from this play. Ooh, did that foot get in there?
A little shift right at the end by Maldonado to field the ball. Oh boy, I don't know if the tag was applied before Michael got his foot between the shin guards and on the plate right there.
And I'm not sure there's a path to the plate either. So a number of things you could challenge or request a challenge on this play. there will be no challenge from the Diamondbacks. So Bourne is thrown out at home to end the first, and the Diamondbacks trail it 1-0. For a review of the collision rule at home plate, Rule 713. There was that, and did Michael Bourne get that foot in there before Martin Maldonado tagged him on the arm?
Yeah, I didn't see the tag on the arm initially. By the time Maldonado got the tag on the body, Michael was definitely on home plate.
Kirk Neuenhuis fouls that one away, and we'll keep going. It's 0-1. That was as close as you can get.
It really was. Just in my own personal opinion, I think Maldonado was giving Michael Bourne a lane to slide to until he had to adjust to the throw. And I think according to the rule, the catcher is allowed to go into the path of the runner if it's in the act of fielding the ball. Boy, that's about as close as you can possibly have it at home plate right there.
Chris Siegel called him out. Well, here's Neuenhuis, who celebrates his 29th birthday today. Getting the start in right field and batting fifth. 214 and 10 homers. He's 0 for 4 in the series. Walked on Friday night. Also struck out twice. And did not play in the ball game last night. Archie ahead 1-2. Neuenhuis, born in Santa Monica, grew up in Denver, Colorado, and played his college ball at Azusa Pacific. Called strike 3. First strikeout for Bradley.
Just paints that outside corner here. Pitch number 4. Tuffy had set up a little bit on the inside part of the plate, had to reach back to his left to catch that pitch, but all over the strike zone.
Diamondbacks had no answers and have had no answers in this series for Keon Broxton. 215 and 3 homers, who has had a sensational weekend at Chase Field. He homered in his only at bat Friday night, and last night reached base safely in all 6 plate appearances, 5 for 5 with a walk.
And one of those 5 base hits was on a bunt. Showed bunt there on the first pitch.
Archie very aggressive here, attacking like you like to see him, jumping ahead in the count 0-2. Fastball missed. Archie, when he won at Miller Park 2 starts ago, said it was the kind of start and execution he'd been looking for. Very aggressive, attacking the zone, even more than he normally has in the past, and it really worked for him. He was very efficient in that ball game, beat the Brewers, and completed 7 innings. And that's the guy he looks like right now here as we start the second after a long first. Broxton lays off the curveball, and it's 2-2. Broxton last night, the first Brewers rookie ever to collect 5 hits in a ball game. Right by Ed Cedar at third base. Terry fair play Finley has to range way out there to go get that. Look at Terry get out there. Nicely done. That's about as far as our Golden Glovers have to go. There is Sam No Neck Noriega. He's manning right field tonight. Archie had 40 pitches, 26 strikes. That one misses up, and Broxton has worked it back full 3-2. He walked him, second walk of the ball game for Archie Bradley. And they have yet to keep Broxton off base in this series.
First baseman number 24, Andy Wilkins.
Here's Andy Wilkins. 17 at bats in 18 games this year. Just 2 hits all season, both of them, of course, against the Diamondbacks. He homered at Miller Park on the D-backs last road trip. Doubled and knocked in 2 runs last night. D-backs have the shift on. Andy Wilkins has not started a major league game since 2014 with the White Sox. He did not play in the big leagues last year. Spent most of last season with the Dodgers AAA team in Oklahoma City. He hit 18 home runs there. And here you go. This is Broken Arrow versus Broken Arrow. Both these guys from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Where Andy Wilkins was a few years ahead of Archie Bradley in high school there. And now they go toe to toe.
Well, after not paying any attention to Jonathan VR after the leadoff walk, VR quickly stole second base. Archie paying all kinds of attention to Keon Broxton over there at first base. Another guy who can burn on the bases. 9 out of 10 in stolen base attempts this year.
Broxton had a stolen base last night. Andy Wilkins, several years ahead of Archie Bradley at Broken Arrow High School. Wilkins went on to play collegiately at the University of Arkansas, where he was a 5th round pick by the White Sox in 2010. And Archie, of course, drafted by the Diamondbacks out of high school in Broken Arrow. 1st round in 2011. And there goes Broxton. He is in there. 10th stolen base of the year for Keon Broxton. And the 2nd stolen base in 2 innings for Milwaukee.
Broxton had a good jump over there at first base. Tough. He puts a throw down there on a hop to Chris Owings. And you can see how Broxton uses that right foot to jam it up against the base, stop his forward momentum right on the bag.
Well, this is Keon Broxton's 4th different stint with the Brewers this year. He's been up and down for the minor leagues all season long, but boy, in this latest recall, he has looked terrific. 26 years old. And a former Diamondback draft pick. D-backs drafted Broxton in the 3rd round back in 09. Great counsel and Pat Murphy, the manager and the bench coach in the Brewer dugout. 1-0 on Wilkins, with Broxton at 2nd. That pitch is a strike. 1-1. Was there a guy when you went through Coshocton High School who was a legend, who was a few years ahead of you, an athletic legend like Andy Wilkins was at Broken Arrow?
There was a basketball player named John Dunlop that ended up going to Kenyon University. They had another player on Kenyon University by the name of John Rinka, who led the nation in scoring, whatever division that was. And we got to see both those guys play a lot in college. And there was a football player by the name of Tim McLean. Scored 7 touchdowns in 1 high school game. That's when Coshocton used to be good at football.
Oh, yeah. Well, Wilkins for Archie Bradley was that high school legend, and now he's facing him here in the major leagues. Archie told me that when he became a varsity player at Broken Arrow, a few years behind Wilkins, they were still talk about some of the long home runs that Wilkins hit when he was in high school at Broken Arrow. Just legendary, titanic homers over buildings and playgrounds. That one is a slightly less than titanic, but it's trouble, and Wilkins is aboard. A swing and bunt single, and Broxton hits to third.
That's always a problem when you have a big, hard swinging power hitter up there, and defensively everybody playing back, and then he takes a full swing and bunts the ball down the third baseline. Not much anybody could do about that one.
That's the first hit for Milwaukee. Runners in the corners and one down, and here's the catcher, Martin Maldonado.
I should recognize Mike McCullough, who played on the PGA Tour for a long time, put up some good numbers on the Seniors Tour. He was a great golfer from Coshocton. My first set of clubs came from him. A set of hand-me-down, Tom Fazios.
Wow. So the numbers on Maldonado. He's homered 4 times. Hitless in the series. He has walked 4 times in this series. Broxton at third, Wilkins at first, and that pitch is in there for strike 1. Archie already, and he's only recorded 4 outs in the ball game, about to get into the 50s in his pitch count. Oh, and 2. So far, mostly fastballs from Archie Bradley. We've seen that knuckle curve a couple of times at least. Broxton walked, stole a base, went to third on Wilkins' swing and bunt single. Oh, and 2 to Maldonado. Wilkins takes off. Brewers very aggressive on the bases here today. That one's fouled away. Craig Counsell has his foot on the gas here today.
Well, stolen base is a big part of the Brewers offense. Maybe not Andy Wilkins, but a number of guys in this lineup with base stealing speed, and Craig Counsell's not afraid to turn them loose.
You see Pat Murphy, the bench coach, has got the stopwatch going. Wilkins bluffs and holds, and again Maldonado fouls that one away. Now, what is Pat Murphy timing there exactly with that stopwatch?
More than likely Archie Bradley's delivery to home plate. After he comes to a set position, the very first movement you start the stopwatch, and then when the ball hits the catcher's glove, there's usually a reset button that you can either stop it right there, or if the throw is being made to second base, there's a third time you hit the watch. It'll give you 2 separate times: pitcher to catcher, catcher to second base.
Archie strikes out Maldonado. That's a big strikeout for Bradley, because now there are 2 outs, and the pitcher, Jimmy Nelson, is coming up.
Knuckle curveball. It's about belt high, right in the middle of the strike zone, ends up in the dirt.
So first and third, 2 down for the pitcher, Nelson. Jimmy's got 4 hits this year. So you've got Pat Murphy, the bench coach for the Brewers, with his stopwatch, and you got the pitching coach, Mike Butcher, for the Diamondbacks. I imagine timing the same thing.
And Dave McKay has his stopwatch when he's down at first base for the Diamondbacks, and he looks at different things. You know, if the pitcher comes set and takes a deep breath, and you can count 1,001, 1,002, and he throws the ball to home plate, Dave McKay will time the breath to the delivery. That's when we see Goldie and Jake Lamb and some of the guys just turn and take off for second base, because he has discerned something from the pitcher's delivery and knows that exactly 1.5 seconds after he takes that deep breath, he's going to throw the ball home.
Looking for patterns.
Yep.
Well, that's why you're always asking that pitchers mix it up out there, right? Hold the ball for different amounts of time or do different moves, step off different spots.
You don't have to have a great pickoff move to control the opposition's running game. You just have to disrupt their timing over there at first base or second base. Hold the ball one time, quick pitch on the next one, hold it for a count of 2, hold it for a count of 1. Just don't fall into any set patterns out there.
Duffy will complete the strikeout, and Archie Bradley strands 2. He's thrown 55 pitches through 2 innings. It's 1-0 Milwaukee. Manny Tomas will lead off the bottom of the second inning. And we set the Wayback Machine to, well, about a week and a half ago. And El Tanque as Manny Tomas homered twice off Jimmy Nelson. It's the Get Life high-speed highlights presented by Cox.
1 to left, 1 to right. That one to left field deep into the Brewers bullpen. He really put a charge on that one.
And Tomas will lead it off, followed by Ricky Weeks Jr. and Chris Owings. Diamondbacks down 1-0.
A couple things to keep an eye on today, partner. Ichiro got a start in that ball game for Miami today. They lead the Rockies 4-0 in the bottom of the second. He struck out in his first at bat. He's on 2.999.
John Gray starting for the Rockies.
And we're also keeping an eye on that Baltimore Orioles game. They lead the White Sox 10-2 in the top of the ninth. Manny Machado homered in each of the first 3 innings of that ball game.
Wow.
Hit into a 4-6-3 double play in his next at bat, flied out to center field. So stuck on 3 homers in 3 innings. Wow.
He's a tremendous player, the Orioles third baseman. Tomas 270 and 21 homers. And 2 of those home runs, as we just showed you, came against Jimmy Nelson at Miller Park on the last road trip. That's the guy that sidelined Jimmy. Tomas singled last night. He was 1 for 5, and he homered twice here on Friday. His 6th multi-home run game this year, but his first here at home. There's a tapper back to the mound, and Jimmy throws him out.
How about this, partner? We know Yasmani Tomas has been hot, but this is ridiculous. Since July 24th, Yasmani Tomas is batting .380. The rest of the Diamondbacks roster is hitting .216. Tomas is slugging .920. The rest of the roster slugging .330. Yasmani has 8 homers. The rest of the roster 7. Talk about carrying a team on your shoulders.
He has been the man, Tomas. 8 homers in his last 13 games. The former Brewer Ricky Weeks Jr. 242 and 5 homers. There's ball 1. Ricky Weeks Jr. 22 starts with the Diamondbacks this year. This is number 23. And when he's been in the starting lineup, he's been about a 300 hitter, 299 in 22 starts with 5 home runs. So Chip Hale has picked his spots with Ricky Weeks Jr. and he's usually picked the right ones. And Ricky's ahead 3-0. Brewers fans with us here. That's over Nelson's head. Jeanette has it at second. 2 outs. It's already 4 ground ball outs for Jimmy Nelson. And that's how he stays effective. He will throw that hard sinker more than half the time. He's got a ground ball rate that's right at 50%, which ranks him 15th best in the National League. And he does throw a 4-seam fastball, mixes it in there about 20% of the time, but he's 93-94 consistently with his 2 fastballs. Chris Owings 254 and 2 homers, so he's got that heavy sink and he throws it a lot, and he'll, when he's pitching well, generate a lot of ground ball outs.
And both of his breaking pitches, the curveball and the slider, both have a lot of downward movement, so he gets ground balls on those pitches as well.
Yeah, mixes in the slider and the curveball roughly in equal amounts. Spots that fastball, and it's 1-1 on CO. Chris 0 for 8 in the series so far. Saw Nick Ahmed before the ball game today, taking ground balls at shortstop. Matt Williams was down there hitting him some ground balls, so it's good to see Nick back. He is going on the trip to New York to get checked out by a hip specialist out there, a guy that deals with a lot of hockey injuries and looks at a lot of hockey players. So he has been referred to a specialist in New York City. So he'll get checked out there this week. On the DL right now with a hip problem. A hip impingement.
Might be the first time that doctor's ever seen an athlete that has teeth.
It's a fair point. Right back up the box. It kicks off the mound and rolls into center. A single for Chris Owings. That'll bring up Tuffy Gozowicz.
Right back where it came from. Nice quick swing that time by Chris Owings. A lot of top hand. Rolls it right back up the middle of the field.
Number 8, Tuffy Gozowicz.
Tuffy getting a start behind the plate today. He walked and struck out in the ball game last night. He's at a 156 batting average with 1 home run in 12 games this year. He's working on that mustache again.
Just won't go away.
Well, remember, he shaved it when he started against Washington, and it looks like it's almost grown back in about 3 or 4 days. It's a fastball up and in from Nelson. Tuffy homered against the Blue Jays here on July 20th, and since then he's 0 for 16. Throws down to first, and Owings is back in time. CO a perfect 9 for 9 in his stolen base attempts this year.
We talked about Maldonado throughout this series. He loves to back pick on the bases, first, second, third. He thinks you're getting too much of a lead, or if he gets a pitch he can handle and throw that direction, he's not afraid to let it go.
They're keeping Chris Owings as close as they can down there. 2 outs in the pitcher's spot up next. Owings holds it first, and Tuffy gets it up in the air to center for Keon Broxton. Jimmy Nelson strands the 2-out single. Diamondbacks trail the Brewers 1-0.
Jody Jackson talked with pitching coach Mike Butcher earlier today, but he was a busy man. He was in a lot of meetings. Chip Hale, Dave Stewart, Tony La Russa all meeting about the rotation and really mapping out the innings and the workload these pitchers have had, not only this year, but going back to last year to plot the course of action for the last 7 weeks. A lot of it has to do with the fact that there has to be a roster move made when Zach Greinke comes off the DL. But guys, I asked Butch about the current situation with the staff, particularly the bullpen. He said we are just so young. What he wants people to understand is he's seeing progress. The results aren't there right now, but he is seeing progress with these guys that just don't have a lot of experience right now.
Yeah, Jody, Zach Greinke coming back Tuesday. He's scheduled to start the opener of that 3-game series against the Mets at Citi Field. And Robbie Ray on Wednesday, Zach Godley on Thursday. That's the way it's mapped out right now. But when Greinke comes back, it's gonna be musical chairs there, Bob. Only got 5 rotation spots.
Well, that's what happens when you find yourself looking up at the rest of the division at this point of the season. Everybody's going to get a chance.
Jonathan Villar's at it again, and that ball is gone. His 9th homer. Another hit in this series for Jonathan Villar. That's his 7th. And it's 2-0 Brewers. Villar walked and scored his first time up, stole a base, and that's his 9th home run.
Curveball up and out over the plate. VR has done it all in this series. He's shown power. He's obviously shown great speed on the bases, made some nice defensive plays. This guy is really having himself a series.
He has got 7 hits. He has drawn 4 walks, 3 doubles and a home run. He's knocked in 3. Not a bad series. Orlando Arcia. So VR in his last 5 games, counting today, 11 for 18 at the plate with 4 doubles and a homer. 0-2 on Arcia.
2 runs in the ball game, both scored by VR. Couldn't have been more different. A 14-pitch walk, a stolen base, moved up on a ground out and scored on a wild pitch. And this time, just 1 swing at a bat puts a run on the board.
60 pitches for Archie Bradley, 40 strikes. And VR stays alive with a tapper foul. Or Arcia, pardon me. So Archie Bradley gives up the home run, gets ahead of Arcia 0-2, and then buzzes the tower a bit. And then goes down and away with that curveball. That's the standard formula, isn't it?
Up and in, low and away. Push a guy off the plate and then throw something off speed out there on the outside corner at the knees.
Bouncer to shortstop. Chris Owens throws him out. Ryan Braun now. Ryan Braun says he's feeling good up there. Certainly looked like he felt good last night. A couple of 3-run homers. He knocked in 7. But he says even his outs are hit hard these days. And he has really noticed that opposing pitchers are being very careful about trying to throw him a lot of pitches off the plate. So he's making sure, he says, that when he swings at strikes. And he's laying off the close ones. Just like that, and he's ahead 1-0. Flying out to center his first time up. Guess what? Giants lost again, which is amazing because they've had about as poor a second half of the season as you can have, and they lost again with Madison Bumgarner on the mound. They were beaten at Washington 1-0. Dodgers are hosting Boston later today. Brandon McCarthy on the mound against David Price in that one. Padres just underway. They're hosting Philadelphia. Phillies lead that one 1-0 in the second inning. And the Rockies hosting Ichiro and the Marlins. Miami has a 4-0 lead in the third. Goldie at first. Two outs for Scooter Gennett. But the Giants, who look like they might not lose that big lead they had in the first half atop the National League West, they have had a miserable post All-Star break.
Yeah, and they're getting some of their pieces back. Hunter Pence back in the lineup recently. You would have thought that they'd be ready to take off and run and hide in that Western Division, but Dodgers hanging around there, 2 games back. Giants are 6-15 since the break.
That's amazing. Gennett grounded out his first time up. Saw Hunter Pence foul the ball off his face in the ball game yesterday. Chopped it foul off home plate. It bounced right back up and hit him right below the eye. But you were not going to get him out of the ball game. 1-1 on Gennett.
Still had one good eye. He was all right.
That Baltimore game you mentioned with Manny Machado hitting 3 home runs in the first 3 innings has now gone final. Orioles beat the White Sox 10-2. So a lot going on in baseball these days. A-Rod announcing today that he will retire as an active player on Friday. Friday will be his last game as a major league player. He will remain with the Yankees as a sort of special advisor and minor league roving instructor type guy as they pay off the rest of his contract. But apparently Hal Steinbrenner called him in and said, "You're done as a player. Let's work something out." And that's what they came up with. So A-Rod was fighting back the tears during a big press conference earlier today at Yankee Stadium. Yankees beat Cleveland 3-2. Tanaka got the win. Archie missed with that fastball, and the count is full on Gennett, 3-2. Out to right, Yasmani Tomas has that one. Well, Jonathan Villar leads off the inning with his 9th home run of the year. Diamondbacks are down 2-0. The smell of cinnamon wafting up to our booth from Wetzel's Pretzels right below us here at Chase Field.
2-0 Brewers as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. Time to take a look at our legacy moment brought to you by Geico. A battle of the Zambranos, Victor and Carlos. Victor the winner 6-1 as the Cubs took a beating in Shea Stadium, but that's not the whole story.
Never is.
Never is. Obviously sharing the same last name. Both pitchers from Venezuela. Both pitchers wore number 38. They entered the game with the same number of career wins, 41. They play for teams which started the series with the same record, 54 and 54. And they're both switch hitters and they both threw right-handed. How about that?
Nobody could beat up a water cooler like Carlos Zambrano.
Or a teammate for that matter.
Well, hello. 1-1 on Archie Bradley, who leads it off here in the bottom of the third against Jimmy Nelson. Victor Zambrano was a Tampa Bay Devil Ray and a Met for a long time. He was involved. Wasn't Victor Zambrano in some horrible trade? What am I might be imagining that. I guess I am. No, he's in the Scott Kazmir deal. That was back in 04. Archie Bradley strikes out. First strikeout for Jimmy Nelson.
Second baseman, Gene Segura.
Gene Segura grounded out to lead off the ball game for the Diamondbacks.
We're talking about leadoff hitters hitting home runs like Jonathan Villar did in that third inning. Gene Segura blasted one last night in the 7th inning, a 2-run bomb.
His 10th of the year. Onto the home run porch out there. Each team with 2 hits so far. Diamondbacks trail at 2-0. Nelson comes up and in with that fastball, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Brewers wrapping up a road trip here today. They lost 2 of 3 in San Diego to start this trip. They are back home to Miller Park after the ball game today. Segura knocks that into center. A 1-out single.
Gene, the hitting machine. Nice quick swing. A little bit reminiscent of Chris Owings' base hit back up the middle of the field.
Trying to get something going offensively. It's Michael Bourne, who walked his first time up today and was thrown out trying to score from second on a Jake Lamb single. Ryan Braun made a nice throw, and Martin Maldonado held on to the ball, and that ended the first inning. Jonathan Villar in on the grass at third. Wilkins holding Segura on the bag at first. There's Dave McKay over there. Now, you said Dave McKay has his own stopwatch going over there sometimes.
Well, he
right?
times different things, and he does a lot of his in the video room before a series even starts. I mean, the most common thing for a first base coach to time is the delivery to home plate. How long is the pitcher taking to unload the ball to the catcher? Is that enough for us to possibly steal a base? And you know the catcher's time to throw to second base, so you do the math down there quickly in your head and tell the base runner either you can steal this one or you better stay right here.
Dave's working that stopwatch down there. 1-0 on Bourne. Segura holds it first. That pitch misses inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. A look down to Matt Williams at third. In there for a strike.
some pitchers can be very quick to home plate. I think of Rick Russell, Big Daddy. He was 1 second or less in his delivery to home plate. Nobody ran on Big Daddy. I mean, up to about 1.3 seconds. That's going to be tough for any base runner to steal a base if the catcher unloads the ball in an average time. But 1.4, 1.5 and up. I mean, we're talking about tenths of a second.
Yeah.
But 1.4, 1.5 and higher, and it's probably a base you can steal.
There's the clock. Segura takes off. Bourne swings and misses. It's a strike. And Segura's in there. That's his 19th stolen base.
Maldonado knew that Segura had a good jump down there at first, so he doesn't even come up to his feet. He just throws from his knees and pulls it to the shortstop side. No play on Gene Segura that time.
So he's at second with 1 out and a 2-2 count on Michael Bourne. So all that clicking and clicking and clicking eventually gets you somewhere. It's a real process.
It used to be a competition in spring training. You'd have 3 or 4 coaches on the railing, all with their stopwatches, timing the delivery to home plate, and then everybody would look at everybody else's stopwatch. What'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get? Hey, your thumb's too quick. Your thumb's too slow.
Even with all the watches, it is something of an inexact science. Bourne strikes out, so here's Goldie. He grounded out his first time up. Goldie 2 for 9 in this series, had a double in last night's ball game. Trying to get Segura home from second with 2 outs. Yank that sinker, and it's 1-0. All smiles. There is the classic Goldie batting helmet ear that always looks so painful. I think his ear is going to stay like that permanently. That helmet comes down right on top and just kind of crunches that whole ear. Looks painful.
I mean, we could get that modified. We can, cut a little bit of the helmet above the ear right there, just so it could.
Well, he's already got the ear shaped to fit the helmet. I mean, that's what's happened. Just evolution. Two and 0. '50th pitch of the ball game coming up from Jimmy Nelson. Maldonado fakes a throw down there. Pitch is in the dirt, and it's 3-1 on Goldie.
May have taken a strike away from his pitcher by coming up out of the crouch and faking that throw to second base. That pitch looked like it was right near the bottom of the zone.
50 pitches, 29 strikes. Nelson, if you look at the pitch data, this is interesting. He actually, that sinker that he throws comes in a little harder than the 4-seam fastball. It's 94-93. It's negligible, but usually there's a slight drop off when a guy goes from the 4-seam to the 2-seam, but it's different with Nelson. That's why that ground ball can be so effective for him. Boy, that souvenir went a long way. Well, you can really see Maldonado's fingers back there with that tape on his fingernails or paint, whatever it is. Look at those fingers. It's got tape on there. Even from second base, our center field camera, when it's got that wider shot, you can see that clearly. He walked him. 2 on and 2 out for Jake Lamb. Boy, those are pretty good pitches, all of them, except for the first one. But Chris Siegel didn't give Jimmy the calls, and here comes Jake. He singled his first time up, but Michael Bourne was thrown out at home trying to score from second. A nice throw by Ryan Braun. So Lamb 1 for 1 as he steps in here.
Yeah, it was a nice throw from Ryan Braun, but most teams in the National League will challenge the Brewers left fielder every chance they get.
So Jake with 4 hits in the series. He's got Segura at second, Goldie at first, and 2 outs. Strike 1. Now a 5-game hitting streak for Jake Lamb. Oh, and 2. Center field. Goldie will sneak into second, and Segura's in third. That's a heads-up play by Paul Goldschmidt there to get from first to second on that one. He wasn't quite sure, and then he committed himself when he was about halfway.
I think a good throw gets Gene Segura at second base, but Jimmy fires it over the head of Arcia out into center field. A little bit of indecision there. You can see Gene Segura trying to get a walking lead, was leaning toward third base when Arcia broke behind him, but the errant throw goes into center field, and as you said, heads up base running by the trail runner there, Paul Goldschmidt.
So second and third for Jake Lamb, up there with an 0-2 count. Single can tie the ball game. Called strike 3. Jimmy Nelson, 3 strikeouts in the inning. He strands 2. Diamondbacks down 2-0. Pool area at Chase Field on a Sunday afternoon. Diamondbacks trail the Brewers 2-0. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Giants lost again 1-0. Nationals beat Madison Bumgarner. Rockies are trailing Ichiro and the Marlins 4-1. Later tonight, Brandon McCarthy and David Price, the Dodgers, hosting Boston. And right now the Padres trail the Phillies 1-0 at Petco Park. Kirk Neuenhuis celebrating a birthday today. He's 29. Leads off the fourth against Archie Bradley.
Nationals beat the Giants 1-0. The Nats put up 2 base hits.
Wow.
Giants only had 5.
How long did that game take?
Let me see if I can find
Was it Tanner Roark start that game for them?
Roark against Bumgarner. Mark Melancon got his first save as a member of the Nationals. Good pitcher. Good pitcher. That was 243 for a 1-0 game with 7 hits.
Even those games are long. 1-2 on Neuenhuis.
They only run a Wilson Ramos 7th inning home run against Mad Bum.
All right then.
All right then.
Ichiro 0 for 2, right? Check in with our staff. Yes, 0 for 2 so far. Ichiro started that game for the Marlins at Coors Field, looking for his 3,000th hit. And yeah, 4-1 Miami. They're in the fourth. Oh, make it 6-1 Marlins now. John Gray got the start for Colorado. He's having a rough time today. He's pitched really well lately too.
Martin Prado 3 for 3 in that game with a couple runs driven in.
Prado's had a sensational year. He's among the league leaders in hitting. Neuenhuis strikes out. That's 4 strikeouts for Archie Bradley. 1 away in the 4th inning.
Good change up. Starts it at the bottom of the strike zone. Neuenhuis has got to protect. Looks close enough for a possible called strike out of Archie's hand, but then that late movement takes it down to the dirt for the swinging strike.
Archie has walked 2, struck out 4. He's given up only 2 hits, but 1 was the home run by Jonathan Villar. Diamondbacks have yet to retire Keon Broxton in this series. And it's 0-1. He walked, stole the bases last time up. Broxton had a home run Friday. His only at bat in that ball game. 5 for 5 with a walk last night. And he walked his first time up today, but now he's down 0-2. First Brewers rookie ever to get 5 hits in a ball game. Keon Broxton.
Go right back in there again. 2 pitches off the plate, down and in. He swung at both of them. Instead, they elevate. That pitch caught a piece of his bat as he was trying to check and get out of the way.
That sounded like it hit 2 or 3 things back there.
Usually does.
The bat handle, maybe the glove. Yes, he went, Brian O'Nora, and they finally retire Broxton. 2 strikeouts open up the 4th for Archie.
First baseman Andy Wilkins.
Here's Andy Wilkins. The Broken Arrow Oklahoma matchup in the ball game. Both these guys went to Broken Arrow High School. Archie Bradley and Andy Wilkins. Wilkins had a swing and bunt single in his first at bat. Shift is on. Fastball misses away, and it's 1-1. Chris Owings all by himself on the left-hand side. Andy Wilkins' first start in a big league ball game since 2014 when he was with the Chicago White Sox. He only had 17 at bats in 18 games with Milwaukee all year coming into the start today. He has spent most of the season with their AAA team in Colorado Springs, where he hit 11 home runs. Archie's behind 3-1 after a first pitch strike. I think he's thinking about those long home runs he always heard about at Broken Arrow High School here.
Nah.
3-2. Archie now at 90 pitches through 3 2/3. That's a lot of pitches. Got him. Archie Bradley strikes out the side. He's got 6 punch outs in the ball game. He got Neuenhuis, the birthday boy. Then they finally retire Keon Broxton for the first time in this series. Then the battle of Broken Arrow. Bradley a winner, but he's down 2-0. Shops here at the ballpark and all your Diamondback goods and a few snacks while you're in there too. After this ball game, we are on the road. Valley Toyota dealers. Let's go places. We head to New York for the first of 3 against the Mets starting on Tuesday. We're on an airplane right after this ball game. Off day tomorrow. And then 3 over the weekend at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. We'll be in Red Sox Nation. Zach Greinke will open up that series against the Mets at Citi Field Tuesday against Steven Matz. Robbie Ray and Bartolo Colon Wednesday. Zach Godley and Thor Noah Syndergaard in the getaway day game Thursday afternoon. Diamondbacks down here 2-0 as Yasmani Tomas leads off the 4th against Jimmy Nelson. Tomas tapped back to the mound his first time up. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Tomas has homered 8 times in his last 13 games. He homered twice against Nelson at Miller Park just over a week ago. Fights that one off and dunks it into left center. A base hit. Yasmani a leadoff single. That's the 4th hit for the D-backs.
Just fights that one off. Fastball up and in, gets in on his hands just a little bit, but we've seen Yasmani do this a bunch recently. If he isn't squaring it up, he's just muscling it out into the outfield.
That's something they have really worked on with him, is keeping those hands in. It's really helped him speed up that bat. Ricky Weeks Jr. There's a strike, 0-1. Both teams in this ball game have been pitching up and in. Nobody's come close to getting hit yet, but that's about the 4th or 5th pitch that's been up in there by both sides, and Ricky got that one right in the back.
That's that one. It's impossible to get out of the way. It starts behind you, and your natural instinct is to move away from the plate when you see that ball coming at you, and it just chases you right out of the batter's box. Ricky looked like he got that one on the right side of his lower back.
So Tomas and Weeks Jr. aboard to open up the 4th inning. Nobody out for Chris Owings, who singled in his first at bat today. Villar in a bit at third, toes on the grass. Fastball away is a strike. It's 0-1. Chris, since his return from the DL, has played in 13 games, all but one of them starts, and he's hit 143, so the bat has been a little slow to come around. Out 37 games with that plantar fasciitis in his left foot. And that one comes up and in. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Nelson hits consecutive Diamondback hitters.
Jimmy's not commanding the ball well on the inside part of the plate.
Jimmy's getting wild.
Another two-seamer runs in there and hits Chris Owings on the right forearm.
And so that's enough to bring any pitching coach out there, and Derek Johnson will pay a visit.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Well, a golden opportunity for the Diamondbacks, down 2-0. And Jimmy Nelson has put himself in a bases loaded, no out mess. Duffy flying out to center in his first at bat today. He's 0 for 1. Yasmani Tomas is at third. Ricky Weeks Jr., the former Brewer, at second, and Chris Owings at first. Duffy first pitch swinging, pops it up, foul ground third base side, and it's Jonathan Villar. He is in the seats in the camera well, and he throws it away. He made the catch, says John Tumpain. He is out of play, so everybody gets a base. When you catch the ball, even if you catch it and tumble out of play, all the base runners are allowed to move up. And so the Diamondbacks get a run on the board despite the catch, and a tremendous catch over the railing by Jonathan Villar.
I didn't think he had any chance to get to this ball. He gets to the barrier. That way he knows he's as far as he can possibly go and still leaps over the barrier to make that catch. What a play.
Those are seats in there. Those are fans sitting in there. So he's in the stands. And even though he makes the catch right there, he leaves the field of play. So everybody moves up 90 feet. Tomas will score. The out is recorded, and it's 2-1.
Sac fly to the third baseman.
Sure.
How often have you seen that?
And now you've got Weeks Jr. at third and Owings at second. 1 out and a run in. It's the pitcher Bradley. Corners crash. Archie gets the bunt down. And Ricky Weeks Jr. scores. They throw it away. And the game is tied. And Bradley's all the way in at second. Squeeze play, and they get the tying run home.
Yeah, Weeks is going as the pitch is being delivered. Andy Wilkins just never had a grip on that ball. Fires it over the head of Maldonado and heads up by Dave McKay and Archie Bradley to turn the corner at first and just keep going. Ill-advised play right there. Ricky Weeks was almost already on the plate when Wilkins threw that ball home.
And Owings is in at third. Archie at second. 2-2 ball game. Gene Segura singled his last time up. Tampa back to the mound. Nelson looks Owings back and he throws it away. Here comes CO and it's 3-2 Diamondbacks. Segura all the way to second base. Oh, the Brewers, what a mess. Nelson had all the time in the world to make that throw.
Brewers coming into play today and made 89 errors this season. Everything good so far. Looked the runner back and then just airmailed it over everybody down the right field line.
Well, the Diamondbacks, after a single and 2 hit batters, had bases loaded, nobody out. All 3 runners have scored. Milwaukee now with 3 errors in the ball game, 2 in this inning, and it's 3-2 Diamondbacks. Here's Michael Bourne. He's got Bradley at third and Segura at second, still only 1 out. The Archie Bradley play. Well, let's start with Tuffy. As Bob said, Tuffy was a sacrifice fly to the third baseman. That scored Tomas. Then Archie Bradley, a sacrifice. He's safe on the E3. That scored Ricky Weeks Jr. And Segura safe on the E1, which scored Chris Owings.
And Jimmy's last 2 starts against the D-backs, 8 combined errors.
Jimmy's defense is letting him down. The throw to third. Oh, they got him. Archie Bradley is picked off. Well, as you said, Maldonado loves that back pick. Archie's not going anywhere till they have a look.
It wasn't even that far off the base, but with a left-handed hitter at the plate, a clean throwing lane for Martin Maldonado, and yeah, they got him.
So now 2 outs. Segura at second, a 1-1 count on Bourne. Scooter Gennett at second. Oh, a wild bottom of the 4th gets the Diamondbacks 3 runs and a 3-2 lead. there. Diamondbacks have the lead, and it's time for our visit from the lovely Mike and Vanessa.
Lovely.
Who are back modeling our items. And what have you guys got today? Who wants to start?
Well, I have this is the D-backs Healthcare. This is what do we call it? A scrubs.
Careful.
That's coming up a couple days later this month on the 25th and the 27th. dbacks.com/healthcare. It's a special ticket, and you get this pretty much one of a kind.
Yeah, that is a special ticket package. So you have to get the package, and it's 2 different games, right?
Yeah, the 25th and the 27th, I believe.
All right, and Vanessa is modeling our Diamondbacks batting practice pullover, courtesy of Sanderson Ford. These are getting handed out before the 6th annual alumni game, and has Diamondbacks on the back right there. That's August 27th. Yeah. And a new twist, as we keep reminding fans to the alumni game this year, it's before the actual game, which is a 5:10 start against the Cincinnati Reds. So you got to get there early to get the batting practice pullover, but you watch the alumni game, then you watch the actual game against the Reds. Is that how that goes?
Yes, sorry, I have the hiccups. So if
you have the hiccups.
Boom.
That's why I let Mike do all the talking, because I might hiccup in the middle.
Well, see, that's why the segment hasn't gone as well as it usually does.
Exactly. I agree.
What did you do in Coshocton to get rid of hiccups?
Eat a spoonful of sugar, drink water upside down out of a glass.
Well,
not drink so much the night before.
Hello.
I'll just try holding my breath. How does that work?
That might do it. Hey, I understand this is a special day.
I just wanted to share with you guys, it's my grandfather's 90th birthday. We celebrated this morning.
Oh, wait, now we have a picture.
Yeah. Yes, he watches. So he's watching at home right now since he can't make it out to the games anymore. So I just wanted to say happy birthday, Francisco.
There it is.
There he is.
There he is. Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. He'll be excited when he's watching this right now.
That's awesome.
Has he got a box full of cookies there?
It's Mexican bread, sweet bread.
Pan dulce.
Pan dulce.
Okay.
She says it way better than I do.
Yeah, she does. She does everything better than all of us.
Agreed.
Aw, thanks, guys.
All right, well, happy birthday. And we got Healthcare Appreciation Night coming up and the alumni game. So a lot going on here, guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
The lovely Mike and Vanessa. Martin Maldonado leads off the Brewer 5th against Archie Bradley, who struck out the side in the 4th and now suddenly has a 3-2 lead after a messy bottom of the 4th. Archie Bradley, 4 consecutive strikeouts. That's 7 for the ball game.
Pitcher Jimmy Nelson.
Jimmy's going to bat. Jimmy struck out his first time up.
Jimmy wants a redeemer for that last inning defensively.
Well, we had the guy in the puffy shirt. Was that yesterday or Friday? I forget. There was a guy walking around in the Seinfeld puffy shirt. And now, of course, Jimmy always reminds us of the famous Jimmy episode.
The guy in the puffy shirt may have been a friend of Jimmy's.
Jimmy's got some friends in town. There's the puffy shirt guy from the other day. The other guy had a t-shirt with Jerry wearing the Lloyd Braun glasses. Remember Lloyd Braun when he was getting deals on Chinese gum? Just sitting around chewing gum with Lloyd Braun.
Selling computers in the garage.
Serenity now. Jimmy's up there with a 2-2 count. We'll count 3-2. Well, BB, the wife, just brought up some Wetzel's pretzels for us. I'll just leave them in the middle here. Got the cinnamon. Those are the best ones. Struck him out. Archie Bradley, 5 consecutive strikeouts. He's retired 8 in a row. Here comes Jonathan Villar, who has done damage in different ways here today. Small ball and long ball.
Yeah, he really has. Drew the base on balls to start the game. Stole second base, moved up to third on a ground out, and then scored on that wild pitch right there. A little easier to do it this way. Just hit it out of the park.
His 9th of the year. He has had a tremendous series, Jonathan Villar. Villar so far has 7 hits and 4 walks, including 3 doubles and a home run. He's driven in 3. Archie over 100 pitches already, and not through the 5th inning. 1-1. Bullpen is busy for the Diamondbacks. Well, he's a strike away now from getting the side in order in back-to-back innings. He has struck out 5 in a row. He has walked 2 today and punched out 8. Hudson and Hathaway warming up at the Diamondback bullpen. The 1-2 to Villar. 2-2. Archie still, despite all the pitches, has only given up 2 hits. A single by Wilkins and the Villar homer. And here we go again with Villar. What was the first at bat? 13 pitches, something like that? 14 pitch at bat to lead off the ball game, and that's really right away where Archie's pitch count started to head south. Full count 3-2.
Archie looking for the second 1-2-3 inning in this ball game. Struck out the side in the 4th. The Diamondbacks 3rd fewest in the majors, 1-2-3 innings this year.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, only 273 on the season. Archie looking for number 274 right here against Villar.
And looking for his 6th consecutive strikeout. He walked him. 3rd walk of the ball game. And Villar is on base again. Chip Hale. We'll see if he lets Archie finish here. We want to get Archie through the 5th if he can with the lead, so he's at least in line for the win if the bullpen can hold the fort. But you've got a Hudson, the right-hander, Hathaway, the left-hander, warming up, and Chip wants to look in Archie's eyes right here and get a sense. Just get that final out and get out of this 5th. And 110 pitches. We'll have to work to Orlando Arcia, the rookie shortstop, who was twice grounded out. So Chip will give Archie a chance to finish off this 5th inning.
At the plate, shortstop.
With Villar at first and 2 outs. Villar stole a base after he walked to lead off the ball game. So Archie with a long set there before time is called. Villar leading the major leagues now with 42 stolen bases. Arcia so far 3 for 18 in his big league career. Villar takes off for second. The throw from Tuffy is high, and it's into center. Villar rolls into 3rd. And he's got stolen base number 43 on the year, and an extra 90 feet. That should be E2.
Another really good jump over there. Once again, Tuffy just looked like he didn't have a great grip on that baseball. Sailed on him out into center field.
Now VR at third, a 1-0 count on Arcia. Stolen base E2 if you're scoring with us. There's a strike, 1-1. Got to be careful with that knuckle curveball. They are only 90 feet away. 2-1 now.
I mean, it's obvious the damage VR has done to the Diamondbacks in this game, but what kind of goes unnoticed is the number of pitches that he's seen. 24 pitches in his first 3 at bats of this ball game. Almost 20% of the pitches that Archie has thrown to one batter.
Well, that's what you're looking for from the leadoff guy, certainly. And VR's had a tremendous series, but Archie again only a strike away from getting out of this 5th. And hopefully with a 3-2 lead. Hudson and Hathaway still throwing in the Diamondback bullpen. Ryan Braun on deck. Base hit. RBI single for Arcia, and the game is tied. And that'll do it. Here comes Chip Hale.
I compared Arcia to a young Starlin Castro. He really reminds me of the former Cubs shortstop, now Yankee second baseman. Just get the bat on the ball.
Well, Archie Bradley walked 3, struck out 8, gave up only 3 hits, but he leaves in the 5th inning, tie game at 3. Pitcher, your Arizona Federal Credit Union pitching change gives us the right-hander Daniel Hudson. And the ERA just over 7, his 47th appearance. Huddy, a couple of strikeouts in his last outing. That was a scoreless sitting against the Brewers here on Friday. And he has pitched scoreless baseball twice in his last 3 appearances. Trying to get the Diamondbacks out of this top of the 5th in what is now a 3-3 ball game. You got 2 outs. Orlando Arcia at first, and the batter is Ryan Braun, who's 0 for 2. Arcia's RBI single, it's tied the ball game and knocked out Archie Bradley, who could not get through the 5th. Two teams so far have combined for 6 runs and 4 errors. It's been a little bit of a sloppy mess out there. Oh, and 1 on Braun. This 5th inning started out with Archie Bradley having struck out 5 consecutive Brewers. He finished the ball game with 8 strikeouts. But then a walk and a single, and now here's Hudson to face Braun with RC at first. Archie, before the 2-out walk to VR, had retired 8 straight. Steve Hathaway, the rookie lefty, still throwing the Diamondback bullpen. And if you got 2 lefties coming up behind Braun in Jeanette and Neuenheitz. Fastball missed in, and it's 1-1 on Ryan Braun. Braun over his last 16 games is hitting .386 with 5 homers. A pair of 3-run homers in the ball game last night. He knocked in 7. Quick scoop by Tuffy. Throw down to first, and RC is back in time.
That's something we've seen Wellington Castillo do repeatedly. Anytime that pitch is in the dirt, the runner tries to get an extra step or 2 on his secondary lead, and if you pick it cleanly, that's a time to attempt to pick off down there at first base.
Talking about all the errors we've had in the ball game. 4 so far, 3 by Milwaukee. The last time Archie Bradley matched up with Jimmy Nelson at Miller Park, as you mentioned, Bob, that was the game when the Brewers committed 5 errors in the first 2 innings of the ball game. And we've had the same pitching matchup here today, and the baseball has been just about as crisp.
Well, 2 of the errors to Jimmy Nelson himself out there on the mound. Last time it was VR and Neuenheitz that were kicking the ball all over the field.
Daniel Hudson behind on Braun, 3-1. What a series VR has had. Arcia holds at first. That one's in there for a strike. Took a couple of steps towards second and then stopped.
Which didn't please Ryan Braun a lot. That batter, you know, you see a guy get a big jump down there at first base. You might go ahead and take the pitch to allow him to get into scoring position and take your chances on the full count pitch. But Arcia broke for second and then stopped, and Braun took a very hittable strike that time.
2 outs, 3-2. Goldie plays behind RC, who takes off, and that pitch is a high chopper to short. Owens has to hurry. And he got him. Nice play by CO. But the Brewers get the equalizer. We'll head to the home half of the 5th. It's 3-3.
3 with the Brewers. Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Well, pretty wild ball game so far. 3-3 tie as Goldie leads off the 5th against Jimmy Nelson. It'll be Paul Goldschmidt, Jake Lamb, and Yasmani Tomas, 3, 4, and 5 for the Diamondbacks, who have out-hit the Brewers 4-3. Milwaukee has out-errored Arizona 3-1. If that's a thing.
I think it is.
It is now.
Coming into this inning, Michael Bourne and Paul Goldschmidt had seen 30 pitches in 5 plate appearances. The rest of the team had seen a total of 39 pitches in 15 plate appearances. A lot of quick, easy outs for Jimmy Nelson.
Yeah, Jimmy's coming off a loss in his previous start. That was Monday at Petco Park, where the Padres got him for 6 earned on 8 hits and only 4 innings. But his team, which got him a 2-0 lead, fell behind 3-2, has got the tying run across now, so it's 3-3. Archie Bradley cannot win it. He went 4 2/3. But Nelson, with some of those quick outs, has the pitch count under control as Goldie leads off the 5th. Goldie has grounded out and walked 0 for 1. Boy, Nelson really held the ball a long time before that pitch.
Maldonado had called for a fastball away. He shook that off. Went through all of his other signs, the curveball, the slider, fastball away again, and ultimately shook to a fastball inside to Goldie. Fouled it off that front foot.
How often do you have to shake off not the pitch but the location?
That happens quite often, you know, especially for guys that have really good command and they can move the ball in and out, up and down.
You go down and away, and he missed. Goldie walks for the 2nd time of the ball game. And the 4th time in the series, leadoff man aboard. That'll bring up Jake Lamb. 3 walks for Jimmy Nelson. Jake Lamb has singled and struck out 1 for 2. Fly ball, center field. Way back and gone. Jake Lamb, that's number 24. And the Diamondbacks lead it 5-3.
Smile on the face of Jake Lamb as he circles the bases and head back to that dugout. Well, there must be a wind tunnel out in that direction, just to the left of that 413 mark in left center field. That's where VR hit his home run, and now Jake Lamb drives one out there, giving the D-backs 5 runs on the ball game. You know what that means, fans?
Tacos and
some
Wetzel's pretzels as well. We're eating good up here. It's about time. Jumbo Jack, courtesy of our friends at Jack in the Box, a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. As Jake Lamb hits his 24th of the year. 5-3 Diamondbacks. So that'll put Daniel Hudson in line for the win. Yasmani Tomas now. Tomas has grounded out, singled, and scored a run. Boy, Jake Lamb, ever since he's come back from that left hand bruise that kept him out of most of the last road trip, has He insisted that it was feeling better, and the numbers back that up. He has now hit safely in 5 straight games and 8 of his last 9. 2 for 3 today with a homer. So that's a good sign. Nelson at 80 pitches, 49 strikes. The 1-2 to Tomas. He struck him out.
Get Jake Lamb going. Yasmani Tomas has been swinging it well lately. Paul Goldschmidt drawing his walks, taking his base hits. Starting to come together a little bit offensively.
Ricky Weeks Jr. And the offense has been lacking. The Diamondbacks have given up at least 10 runs in 4 of their last 6 games. It's been a bumpy ride this week, but in their last 6 games, the D-backs have been outscored 63-20. But so far today, 5 runs on 5 hits. And 3 Brewer errors have helped out as well.
Nelson hasn't really given up a lot of hard hit balls in this game. Certainly the Jake Lamb home run was crushed. Gene Segura hit a hard single back up the middle in the 3rd. Chris Owings had a hard ground ball back up the middle of the field, but not a lot of solid contact other than that.
Nelson has walked 3 and struck out 4. 2-1 on Ricky Weeks Jr., the longtime Brewer. Belts that one into the gap in right center, and it rolls all the way to the wall. Ricky Weeks Jr. pulls into second with his 8th double. There's another ball that's hard hit against Jimmy.
Add another one to the list right there. Ricky Weeks with his 8th double of this season. A line drive to that gap in right center. Belt high fastball middle of the plate. Quick hands by Ricky Weeks. Still can drive a fastball.
You get the feeling he'll be able to do that when he's 50. Chris Owings. CO has singled and been hit by a pitch. He scored a run. Brewers bullpen gets busy.
Ricky Weeks' double to the gap in right center was actually harder off the bat than Jake Lamb's 423-foot home run. Lamb's home run 105 miles an hour off the bat. Ricky Weeks' double 109.
109 miles an hour the other way.
The other way.
To right center. How's that for power? Big cut by CO, and it's 1-1. Missed on the slider. You can hit a ball about 110 miles an hour to right center field as a right-hand hitter. You'll find a spot on some rosters. Two and one on Chris Owings. Giants have already lost 1-0 at Washington. Dodgers host the Red Sox later tonight in the network game. Brandon McCarthy and David Price in that ball game in LA. 2-2 on Chris Owings. Padres hosting the Phillies. Philadelphia leads that one 5-2 at Petco Park. They're in the 5th. And that Ichiro Marlins game has turned into a typical Coors Field battle. It's now 8-6 Miami in the 6th inning. As Ichiro goes for 3,000 in the starting lineup for Don Mattingly today.
I see Maldonado Telling Jimmy Nelson to slow down out there on the mound. He went through a series of signs, and as soon as Jimmy saw the one that was the sign, he went into his setup.
Jimmy likes to work fast.
Yeah, Maldonado wanted him to wait until he finishes all the signs. Some pitchers are so anxious to throw the ball that, for example, if it's the first sign after the number 2, the catcher goes 1, 2, 1, and the pitcher immediately goes up into a set position. Even though the catcher's still flashing signs, that's a pretty good indicator of what sign they're using.
And you got a runner at second base, and the veteran Ricky Weeks Jr. down there, so you got to be careful. Jimmy's a little too enthusiastic.
Too much of a hurry, Jimmy.
2-2. I'm amazed at just how quickly how you catchers move those fingers so fast. It's amazing the way they run through those 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, thumb, pinky, bang, all in about 2.5 seconds.
I guarantee in 40 years he won't be able to move his fingers that fast.
But the way they flash through those sequences with the fingers, knowing specifically how many fingers you're throwing down there at one time, look at how quick that is. Try to do that while you're watching the ball game at home. It's impossible unless you've caught before. Ricky Weeks Jr. takes off for third, and he's in there. Second stolen base of the year for Ricky. And a 3-2 count on CO.
And a good time to do it with 1 out in the inning. Now Chris Owings, if he can loft a fly ball to the outfield or find a hole on the infield defense, Ricky Weeks can just trot home from third base. Could just be a coincidence, but Ricky Weeks, an off-speed pitch to steal third right there.
Well, got a good look at those signs. He was at second for a while. You catchers, you're so paranoid all the time.
Justified.
Owings knocks the 3-2 to right. And it's over the head of Neuenhuis, who falls on the ground. Broxton all the way over to pick it up. And here comes CO headed for third. He's in there. More adventures of Kurt Neuenhuis in right field. We were talking about that game on the last road trip at Miller Park when he had 2 errors or 3 errors and 1 in 2 innings. That's not an error, but yikes.
Oh, yeah. He just misjudged that ball. CO hit it hard to the gap in right center field. Chugging into third base. VR tried to decoy Chris Owings into believing there was no play there, but CO's too crafty for that. RBI triple.
And that's going to be it for Jimmy. Diamondbacks lead at 6-3. Back after this. Diamondback offense here. They've opened up a 6-3 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the new pitcher for the Brewers, it's the right-hander, Michael Blazek. We saw him in the series opener on Friday night. He worked 1 inning, gave up 1 hit and had 2 strikeouts. And he'll work to Tuffy Gozawish with Chris Owings at 3rd. See Owen there after an RBI triple, his 5th triple this year. Tuffy so far has flying out popped up. He's knocked in a run. Infield in for Milwaukee, still only 1 out in the inning and 3 runs in. Slider in there for a strike. Pitcher spot up next. Phil Gosselin in the on deck circle. And with a couple of lefties due to lead off the top half of the next inning for Milwaukee, you've got Hathaway, the lefty, still warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. Garcia coming home. And Owings is out.
Garcia makes it look so easy. There's a hard hit 2-hopper right at him. Fielded it off to the side just a little bit. Almost turned it into a double play as Maldonado looked to get Tuffy Gozawish at first base.
So Gosselin will hit for Daniel Hudson with 2 outs and Tuffy at first. Still hitting .270 with a homer. He doubled in last night's ball game. Phil Gosselin, 51 plate appearances as a pinch hitter this year. He's batting .271 with 3 RBIs. Goldie led off the inning with a base on balls, his 2nd walk of the ball game. Jake Lamb, a 2-run homer to center, his 24th. Ricky Weeks Jr. a double. Chris Owings an RBI triple. D-backs have out hit Milwaukee 7-3. Two balls and a strike. Fly ball, left field, way back, and gone. Phil Gosselin is 2nd of the year, a 2-run homer, and it's 8-3 Diamondbacks.
Right before that pitch, I was thinking about Phil Gosselin and all the opposite field hits he had on that last road trip. He gets a fastball down and in and just barrels it up to left field for a 2-run blast.
2nd 2-run homer in this inning for the Diamondbacks. Lamb and Gosselin, and they lead at 8-3. Here's Segura. Segura homered last night. Jumbo Jack off the bat of Phil Gosselin. Free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink from our friends at Jack in the Box. 1-1 on Segura. Segura. That's double number 24, and the hit parade continues.
Man, has he been hitting the ball hard lately. This is another one that's just crushed out there near the 413 mark. About halfway up the wall. Broxton can only play it on a carom and lob it back into third base to hold Segura to a double.
A rough inning for Michael Blazek on in relief of Jimmy Nelson. Michael Bourne, the hitter. Michael has walked, struck out, grounded out, 0 for 2. Diamondbacks now with 9 hits. They've out-hit Milwaukee 9-3. Ball 1. Paul Goldschmidt, who led off this Diamondbacks 5th inning with a base on balls, is on deck. He scored on the Lamb homer. Michael 2 for his last 24 up there. He has 1 hit in the series. He doubled in Friday night's ball game. Pops it up. Very short left. Braun coming in. And that ends the inning, but the Diamondbacks send 9 to the plate, 5 score. Jake Lamb got it started, his 24th home run, a 2-run shot. And Chris Owings, the RBI triple over the head of Neuenhuis. And finally, Phil Gosselin, second of the year. It's 8-3 Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks has them up 8-3. Offense rolling right now, but it's been tough with so many injuries. Got the word today, David Peralta is officially on the DL. He will see Dr. Don Sheridan about that right wrist inflammation, which also hampered him earlier this year. He'll have an MRI tomorrow. And Socrates Brito is called up, as you guys mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Also on Nick Ahmed, you mentioned Nick is going to get on the charter and go to New York. He's going to see hip specialist Dr. Brian Kelly, who has specialized with hockey players like Tim Thomas and Jamie Benn, but also with baseball, Chase Utley, Carlos Delgado, Alex Rodriguez, of course, who's in the news today. But he is a leading hip specialist, and for that hip impingement that's been bothering Nick, he hopes to get some answers, guys.
Yeah, A-Rod had real hip problems over the course of his career. Scooter Gennett leads off the 6th inning against the new Diamondback pitcher. It's the lefty Steve Hathaway, and there's strike 1. Gennett so far grounded out, flied out 0 for 2. And Steve Hathaway, the 25-year-old rookie, has done a nice job after a Very rough time at Dodger Stadium in his major league debut on the last road trip. And Steve has made 3 consecutive scoreless appearances and has induced 8 ground balls in his last 3 1/3 innings. And that's what you're looking for from this young man. That ERA is inflated after the Dodgers knocked him around a bit in his big league opener, but ever since then he's been pretty good out there. He's ahead of Jeanette 0-2. There's a ground ball. Segura smothers it, but he's got no play.
Gene really frustrated he wasn't able to come up with that ball cleanly. That looked like one of those plays where a guy breaks his wrist out there, really rolled over on that left hand as the ball just came trickling out of his glove.
Right fielder Kirk Neuenhuis.
How about for the Diamondbacks offense? In the first 4 innings of this game, they had 4 hits, all singles. In the 5th inning, they had 5 hits, all extra base hits.
That'll work. 2 homers, a double, and a triple, right? No, 2 doubles. 2 homers, 2 doubles, and the Owings RBI triple. Here's Neuenhuis, who so far on his birthday has struck out twice. He is 29 years old today. Former Met. And we'll head to New York right after this ball game. Open up a 3-game set against the Mets on Tuesday at Citi Field. Citi Field, of course, the site of the now infamous Kirk Neuenhuis game. So how's that for a coincidence? July 12th last year, Neuenhuis, who hit 4 home runs all season as a Met, hit 3 in 1 game against the Diamondbacks. Mets won that game 5-3. 2 homers off Ruby De La Rosa, 1 more off Randall Delgado. I'd put him in the Bucky Dent category. Kirk freaking Neuenhuis.
It's also Mike Trout's 25th birthday today, and to celebrate, apparently he stole a grand slam away, one of his fence climbing catches. What better way to celebrate?
Well, Neuenhuis, his birthday's not going as well. He struck out 3 times. Yeah, the Angels trail the Mariners 3-1, 9th inning at Safeco Field. Strikeout for Steve Hathaway. And now he'll work to Keon Broxton. They finally retired Broxton his last time up. First time they've got him in the series. He walked and stole second in the 2nd inning. Then Archie Bradley struck him out in the 4th. Jeanette is at first, 1 away. And the left-hand hitting Andy Wilkins is on deck, so we'll see how Hathaway does here against the righty Broxton.
Ichiro Suzuki with a triple for hit number 3,000.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Marlins lead the Rockies 8-6. They're in the 7th at Coors Field. So Ichiro, who started that ball game, gets his 3,000th hit. Precious few members of a club that he now belongs to. 3,000 hits and 500 stolen bases. Hathaway behind, 2 balls and no strikes.
Only one other player has gotten a triple for his 3,000th career hit, Paul Molitor. His name came up yesterday.
I remember when Wade Boggs got his 3,000th hit. It was a home run, and he came home and knelt down and kissed home plate. That was at the Trop.
At the Trop, yeah, you're right.
Ah, the Trop.
A lot of baseball history at the Trop.
Randall Delgado warming up with the Diamondback bullpen. 3-0 on Broxton with Jeanette at first. He walked the right-hander. Now Wilkins is coming up. 2 on and 1 out for Milwaukee. Well, recall Wilkins, and Chris Carter's going to come up and take the at-bat. So we'll see if Delgado is ready down there, or did they want to let Wilkins or Hathaway face the right-hand hitting Carter. See what Steve Hathaway can do with big Chris Carter, who who is hitting for the first baseman Wilkins. 216 and 25 homers. Here comes Mike Butcher out to the mound. Carter in the series is 1 for 8 with a single. He has walked twice and punched out 4 times. He leads the National League in strikeouts. Bobby Freeman with a little Olympic themed music. Rio de Janeiro. Hey,
Copacabana. Bobby's always right on top.
Oh yeah, he's funny. There he is, Bobby Freeman,
the Billy Preston of the National League West.
Have you been watching any of the Olympics at all?
No.
All right.
I like the Olympics. Don't get me wrong. I just haven't had time to sit down in front of the TV and digest it.
You have a lot on your plate. Busy guy. 2 on and 1 out for Chris Carter. I've had a few of those moments where you're sitting in front of the TV and you go, wait a minute. This is an Olympic sport. What are we doing?
Well,
I turned it on the other day and somebody was shooting a BB gun at a target like 10 feet away. That's actually that was a women's event. The women from West Virginia won gold for the U.S. 0-2 on Carter.
Not surprising. Probably shooting squirrels out of trees back in West Virginia.
Those possums, somebody's got to keep them under control. Broken bat roller, Segura. CO gets 1 and they roll 2. Steve Hathaway gets the double play ball and gets out of the inning.
Craig Counsell's trying to get the attention of the umpires and let them know he wants to check.
Yeah, they're going to hold everybody on the field.
That play at second base, CO really came storming across the bag.
Now remember, the neighborhood play is subject to review.
He's got it.
No challenge. We go to break. It's 8-3 Diamondbacks. Three D-backs as Goldie leads off the home half of the 6th inning. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. We fly to New York City right after this ball game. Off day in the city tomorrow. And then the first of 3 against the Mets on Tuesday with Zach Greinke back out there against the lefty Steven Matz. And then Wednesday it's Robbie Ray and Bartolo Colon. Getaway day game on Thursday. That is a 9:10 a.m. start Thursday. It's breakfast with the Diamondbacks. Zach Godley and Noah Syndergaard in the series finale. Chris Carter, who hit for Andy Wilkins, remains in the ball game, and he takes over at first. Goldie is grounded out, walked twice, scored a run. He's down 1-2 against Michael Blazek, who's back out there. Two and two. Phillies have come back to tie the Padres. They're 5-5 at Petco Park in the 7th inning. Rockies trailing the Marlins 9-6 at Coors in the 7th. Ichiro a triple for hit number 3,000 as Goldie strikes out. Jake Lamb, his 24th home run of the year his last time up, a 2-run homer. Jake today has single and homer. This is it off Jimmy Nelson. Jake now with 24 home runs and 72 RBIs. Our staff, BB, has really come up with a nugget here.
Okay.
As we know, Archie, who worked out in Scottsdale, Archie Bradley, all off season long, bought a home in the area. So he's kind of like, you know, he's got to play. You know how in your neighborhood there was always one house where everybody hung out? Mm-hmm. Every neighborhood has one of those. Well, it's Archie's house, and he's got some roommates, Jake Lamb and Phil Gosselin. Look out! That one almost got Blazek. Lamb belts it into center. He's got 3 hits. So Archie got the start, and his 2 roommates have each homered in the ball game. That courtesy of Scott Geyer from our research department.
Very nice. The same Scott Geyer that pilots the Fox Arizona blimp.
I don't know how he does it, frankly.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. He's the utility guy. Yasmani Tomas. So the roommates are having a good day. Archie at one point in the ball game. There's Scotty G. Sitting next to the wife, Cindy, who's here today. She brought us Wetzel's pretzels.
Yes, she did. We appreciate that.
Yes, which we, by the way, have eaten all of in about an inning and a half. Once you start eating those Wetzel's pretzels, it's over. You dip into that bag, you're done. Tomas, broken bat, and it rolls into center. Now, Yasmani may still have the bat handle. He's got something there. Let's see.
A slider that just didn't take much break. He's got a little piece of the handle in each hand. It's split right down the middle of the handle.
The bat is in 3 pieces, and he's got 2 of them. Second single today for Yasmani. There you go. It's like he's running a relay race or something.
That's why we show up. I've never seen that before. Guy ended up at first base with 2 pieces of the handle. The rest of the bat's out on the left side of the infield. Looked like a relay baton. Speaking of the Olympics.
Yeah, he might have some splinters too. Ricky Weeks Jr. doubled and scored his last time up. Ricky scored twice so far in the ball game. Lamb at second, Tomas at first, 1 out. There it is. Wow. Nice work. There's Mickey getting that shot down there. That's what's left of the Marucci. Send that one back to Baton Rouge. Bouncer over the mound, and Jeanette won't get there. Here comes Lamb. He will score, and it's 9-3. Boy, every time Ricky Weeks Jr. has been a starting player for Chip Hale, he has contributed big time.
Big split up the middle. Jeanette traveling as close to that ball as anybody, and he couldn't get to it. Jake Lamb will come around and score easily from second base.
D-backs have scored 9 times.
Keep the line moving.
They about hit Milwaukee 12-4. Here's Chris Owings, who singled in the second, was hit by a pitch and scored in the fourth, and had an RBI triple in the fifth. Oh, 0-1. Tomas at second, Weeks Jr. at first. D-backs with 3 in the fourth, 5 in the fifth, 1 home in the sixth. Zio reaches out, taps that one right to Dave McKay, who still got those quick infield hands. An original Toronto Blue Jay, Dave McKay. In the air, shallow center, Broxton coming in. That'll bring up Tuffy Gozawish.
Catcher, Tuffy Gozawish.
Sac fly in the fourth for Tuffy to the third baseman. Jonathan VR made the catch, tumbled over the railing down there, out of play.
We saw that same type of play here a couple of years ago against the Cubs, and Anthony Rizzo caught one over by the opposite dugout and tumbled into the seats. All the runners get to advance one base. Tuffy has an RBI and a run scored in the ball game. Fastball missed, and Tuffy's ahead 3-1. Pitcher spot coming up next. Brandon Drury in the on deck circle. Good job by Steve Hathaway. Another good appearance by this rookie lefty. Got that grounder double play ball to win the top of the sixth. Full count, 3-2. Tomas at second, Weeks Jr. at first. There go the runners. Tuffy pops it up. Behind the mound, Arcia wants it. But the Diamondbacks add one more. Ricky Weeks Jr. an RBI single. They lead at 9-3. To show you that you won't believe. Mike Trout, bases loaded in Seattle. Angels and Mariners, 1-1 ball game. This is going out for a grand slam, and watch Trout bring it back.
Oh my.
He robbed a grand slam. And by the way, he is celebrating his 25th birthday today, Mike Trout. What a play.
He blew out the candle on that grand slam.
Oh, nice. Martin Maldonado will lead off the 7th inning against Steve Hathaway's back out there. Interesting day for birthdays today. You've got Mike Trout, who is 25. He's had a very good birthday, as we just saw. Kurt Neuenhuis has not had a good birthday. He's 29, the Brewers right fielder. He is 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts. Also celebrating a birthday today, Edgar Renteria, who has a connection to Craig Counsell.
Sure.
Back when the Marlins won a World Series, Renteria knocked him in. And on the final list of birthdays, other than Vanessa's grandfather, of course, we already celebrated that one. One of your all-time favorites celebrates a birthday today, the late great Rocky Bridges.
Rocky Bridges. Wow. And I wanted to get the story in earlier when Archie Bradley and Andy Wilkins were still in the ball game, both from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And Rocky was great about nicknames. And we had a pitcher from Oklahoma, from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, named Mark Calvert, who was a state wrestling champion besides being a really good pitcher. And Rocky nicknamed him Shampoo.
And why is that?
Because
Hathaway gets his second strikeout.
He was all head and shoulders. Rocky was a beauty, man, I'll tell you.
Now, he was your minor league skipper with the Phoenix Giants?
With the Phoenix Giants, yeah. And I mean, as loose and fun an atmosphere as I've ever played baseball in. You just couldn't wait to get to the park every day to see what was going to happen next.
Jake Elmore will hit for the pitcher. I don't think anyone is well, you've had a lot of guys influence your career, Frank Robinson and Roger Craig and different guys, but Rocky Bridges is right at the top of the list.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that ever played for Rocky would tell you that. He was just the greatest. Really good with nicknames. You know, not politically correct all the time, but you know, always had a big chew of tobacco in his mouth and tobacco spit dripping off his chin and all down the front of his jersey. I remember one time when Ozzie Virgil Sr. was I believe it was the Tucson team, and Rocky and Ozzie Virgil were standing there toe to toe, just having a conversation during batting practice. And Rocky was spraying chew spit all over Ozzie Virgil, and Ozzie Virgil was spitting sunflower seeds all over Rocky.
That's beautiful.
And it was just as natural as it could be, like you expected that to happen.
As Bonnie Tomas. Well, Steve Hathaway, they've talked about the final 2 months of this season as an audition of sorts for their 2017 bullpen, and so far Steve Hathaway has had a very nice audition. Young left-hander. Jonathan VR has been trouble this entire series. So far today, he has walked twice, homered, stolen 2 bases, and scored 3 times. How's that for a leadoff man? So VR counting today over his last 5 games. 11 for 18 at the plate with 4 doubles and a home run. Stay hot. But Hathaway's ahead 0-2. Steve Hathaway, a 14th round pick by the Diamondbacks 3 years ago out of Franklin Pierce University in New Hampshire. He's from West Acton, Massachusetts. Called strike 3. Steve Hathaway. A double play ball and 3 strikeouts in 2 innings of work. The Diamondbacks lead the Brewers 9-3, and we'll keep it right here at Chase Field as we celebrate with God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that you please rise and sing along as we pay tribute to our great nation with the singing of God Bless America.
Where the D-backs lead the Brewers 9-3, and here is history, BB. Ichiro Suzuki, a triple for 3,000 at Coors Field today.
You mentioned Paul Molitor, the only other member of the 3,000 hit club to get a triple for number 3,000.
Marlins are leading that ball game 10-7 in the 8th inning as Brandon Drury leads off the bottom of the 7th. Hitting for the pitcher. New pitcher for the Brewers. It's a look at Blaine Boyer, who got the loss here on Friday. Came on to work the bottom of the 11th inning and issued that bases loaded walk to Wellington Castillo. Here's a question for you. This is a tricky one.
Okay.
So I go to you. If you're running the Seattle Mariners and you want to retire number 51, is it Randy Johnson or is it Ichiro?
Yes.
Correct. It's a tough one. Now there are some teams that have that, like the Celtics had that with a number, and the Yankees, I believe, have retired a couple of number 8s, I want to say. Not number 8. Might be a different number.
Sure. Yeah, 2 guys can share it. What the heck?
All right.
Both Hall of Famers.
Arcia at shortstop. I mean, the Celtics couldn't retire Jim Loskatoff's number because that had already been retired, I think, for Satch Sanders. So they had to just put Losky up in the rafters of the Boston Garden.
Whoever that is.
Yeah. Jungle Jim Loskatoff. You don't know him? Oh, come on.
Can't help you there.
All right. We're going to Boston now. You got to know this stuff. Gene Segura.
I'm counting on you to translate for me.
Yeah, there are. And our producer, Brad the Big Dog Weimer, has confirmed there are 2 number 8s for the Yankees. Bill Dickey and Yogi Berra. Fly ball, shallow right center. Nieuwenhuis has it. So this has come up before with some different organizations.
Center fielder, Michael Moore.
You know, you asked me about Rocky Bridges an inning ago, and one of his great quotes that I've seen printed a lot of different places. Rocky says there are 3 things that the average man thinks he can do better than anybody else: build a fire, run a hotel, and manage a baseball team.
Most guys can't do any.
Another one from Rocky: coaching third base with a pitcher on base like being a member of the bomb disposal squad. The thing could blow up in your face at any moment.
The voice of experience. Michael Bourne. Now, is that where you were when you guys wore those crazy uniforms?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The orange
and the box hats with the stripes going around the,
playing at Phoenix Muni, right?
And vertical stripes on the shirts. And orange sanitary socks and white shoes. We were a mess.
Well, Blaine Boyer comes in after that bumpy ride on Friday. Works a 1-2-3-7. Diamondbacks lead at 9-3. As we start the 8th inning, AT fans introducing Pepsi Emoji every time you grab an ice cold Pepsi 20-ounce bottle this summer. You'll find a Pepsi Emoji on the side of the bottle, and there are hundreds of different designs. So show the world how you feel and what you love with Pepsi Emoji using hashtag Say It With Pepsi. Enrique Burgos will start the 8th inning. A 3.27 ERA in 21 games this year. Burgos very impressive Friday against these Brewers when he worked a 1-2-3 inning on only 12 pitches. Got a couple of strikeouts.
Leading off for Milwaukee.
2 impressive innings by rookie left-hander Steve Hathaway after Daniel Hudson got the final out of the 5th. Hathaway got a double play ball and 3 strikeouts. Worked the 6th and the 7th, and now Burgos opens up the 8th. Orlando Arcia, an RBI single his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Enrique Burgos has made, well, let's see, 14 appearances since his latest recall from Reno. That was at the beginning of July. And then his last 14 outings, he has pitched to a 1.17 ERA. He's been very good. And the Diamondbacks bullpen in that win over Milwaukee here Friday was outstanding. That was the 11-inning win, 3-2. Hathaway, Delgado, Burgos, Barrett, Hudson, and Lowen in that game. Lowen wound up with a win. Burgos behind on the first batter he faces, 3-0.
And Burgos in his last outing looked like he was following the lead of Robbie Ray and Archie Bradley. He was just coming out flame on.
97, 98, one after the other. A little wild to open up this one, a 4-pitch walk.
Hey fans, follow Arizona Diamondbacks baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, all of that stuff. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
He's using it right now. Looks like he's in trouble. Mike Butcher doesn't like the leadoff walk from Burgos. He's going to request that Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, come over to the mound and have a look.
Here we go again.
And we're going to need Grant Trenbeth and his crew to get out here. We saw this last night with Zach Godley in the ball game. And here come the crew. There's Grant leading the charge.
You know what Metrocal is, partner?
I've never seen this stuff before.
It used to be a diet supplement. It may still be for all I know, but somebody asked Rocky one time, what do you like to drink after a ball game? And he said, I like to have 2 shots of scotch with a shot of Metrocal. So far, I've lost 5 pounds on my driver's license.
We celebrate the birthday of the late great Rocky Bridges today. Now, Rocky was a player, wasn't he?
Yeah, Rocky played for a lot of different teams. He said he had more numbers on his back than a bingo card. Wasn't a great player, but he hung around the big leagues. I think he might have been with 6 different teams over the course of his career, something like that.
He was he broke into the big leagues with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1951. He was with Cincinnati. He was with the Washington Senators in 57. He was an all-star, in fact, in 1958. Rocky Bridges hit .263 for the Senators that year, and then played for the Tigers, the Indians, the St. Louis Cardinals in 1960. Finished up in 61 with the LA Angels.
They said it's a good thing he stayed with the Cincinnati Reds for 4 years because it took him that long to learn how to spell Cincinnati.
Now they're showing on the TV board right now Ichiro's triple that we just showed you, and watch the players watching this one.
To the wall, and it's off the wall. 3,000 is in right field, and Ichiro is is racing for third, and he's done it.
Look at
He's
that.
climbed the mountain. A triple.
3,000 hits for Ichiro, and some applause here from some veteran players and fans in Phoenix.
And he has arrived at 3,000.
Ichiro, the 4th player born outside the United States to reach the 3,000 hit plateau. Roberto Clemente, Rod Carew, Rafael Palmeiro, and now Ichiro.
Well, Grant and his team have finished up their work, so we'll see how Burgos likes it.
Well, hopefully that was the issue with his inability to find the strike zone there to Arcia leading off the inning.
Well, you were talking about how Rocky always had that jaw in his mouth. If you go to baseballreference.com, the picture on there, it looks like he's got a softball in his cheek.
Always. I never saw Rocky without a chew in his mouth.
It's a great picture of Everett Lamar Bridges,
At the plate, left fielder,
who passed away January 28, 2015 at the age of 87. So we're set to go again. After the leadoff walk to Arcia, here's Ryan Braun, who had 7 RBIs last night, 2 3-run homers. But so far today, he's 0 for 3. Ryan Braun, the last 2 years, played right field for Milwaukee. For much of his early career, he played left after coming up as a third baseman. You forget that he came up as an infielder, Ryan Braun. But this year, after they traded Chris Davis to Oakland, they moved Braun back from right over to his old spot in left. Chris Davis had a nice year with the A's, too. Hitting a lot of home runs, 0-2 on Braun. I don't know if Ryan Braun was at the U when Jody was there.
Good question.
We'll have to find that out. Ryan Braun, University of Miami. Jody is a famous University of Miami apologist. And they've needed one from time to time. There she is, the U.
You're attacking the U right now.
Yeah, I don't like them.
I know, we're an easy target.
I'm still mad about the College World Series when they beat BC and they showed very little class.
Well, you know, they do like to accentuate the homers down there.
Well, now, were you there when Ryan Braun was there?
No, he's a bit younger than I am.
No, come on.
I know, it's hard to believe.
Here we go.
Partner.
Oh, I'm down with an oblique. That's what I get. That's what I get for picking on the U.
That's right. See how that's how we roll.
There we go. Got it.
Yeah.
I got it, BA.
Going to need an ice bag for that bruise.
I'm getting a hard time from the Brewers booth. Goldie's got it. Steps on the bag. They got Arcia hung up. As soon as you step on the base, you take the force off, so they had to tag the runner, and it took a while. But now let's take a look. See, I learned in spring training not to try and catch it because I did that once and it really hurt. So I tried to get out of the way, and it just did get me in the oblique.
I like the way it kind of crawled up your spine and rolled over your shoulder.
Well, you know how when there's spin on it, it just kind of follows you. So here it is.
There it is.
I won't show you the bruise, but fortunately did not knock over the Wetzel's pretzels.
That's good. I'll save the monitors. You save the pretzels.
I tell you, once at Salt River, my first year. Oh, Josh Rowich is in here to give me a hard time after I killed him the other day. Well, you were eating food at the time. But the first year at Salt River, Goldie hit one, a foul ball right back, because we're lower at Salt River than we are here. And it came in here at about 1,000 miles an hour. And I thought, well, I didn't have to move. And it went right off my hand. And I said, mental note to self, don't ever do that again.
Don't do that again.
Because how it didn't break my hand, I'll never know. But when you try to duck out of the way, it's like being up there at the plate. The ball just follows you.
Chases you. Not to mention, you almost strangled yourself on your headphones.
Well, there's that.
There.
See, Rawlins, you didn't have to wear headphones down there. Everything's all askew up here now. Well, usually is anyway.
Maybe Ryan Braun heard you attacking the U.
Yeah, that's what I get. Enrique Burgos strikes out Scooter Gennett, and we survive the 8th, at least half of it anyway. 9-3 D-backs.
Last night was any indication or so, I'm told we have lots of baseball left.
Oh yeah.
But I presume that you're going to at least tip your hat to the Diamondbacks offense. I know they got some help from Milwaukee, but they did cash in, right?
Well, they took advantage of the Brewer mistakes, but love the output by the offense.
You'll break it down?
Absolutely. Quality at bats.
That and so much more. We'll have Diamondbacks Live, a truncated version as it's getaway day.
Yes.
But first, let's get back to Steve and Bob, guys.
I got a question. What's truncated?
I don't know. Something to do with an elephant, I'm sure.
Here's Goldie to lead off the 8th. I think it means shorter.
Yeah.
Todd flashing that U of A education again.
I was going to say I audited a class at the U and I learned that once.
Watch out, a foul ball's coming your way now.
Actually, I'm in fair territory.
I was going to say, if Goldie hits it to you, it's going 500 feet.
Okay, I'm on that.
The shots just keep coming, don't they?
It's a good bit, Jody. You got to layer it and layer it.
Yeah, as soon as I opened my mouth about the U, I got it. So Jody wins that one.
Well, whatever you do, don't get on Texas State. We might see another one sizzle up here off Goldie's bat.
Clank. Wait a minute, I got Jody just sent me a text. I can't believe Ryan Braun tried to kill you. Fly ball to Neuenhuis. He's got it.
But as always, you get a ball up here in the booth, you just got to pass it along.
Now, did you sign that?
No. Toss it down to a kid.
Nice. So, wait, I take one in the ribs, and you get to be the hero.
That's right. That's the way that works.
I got your back.
I'm behind you, winter time.
Jake Lamb. Jake has singled twice. He's got a 2-run homer.
Boy, Jake had a look on his eye there taking that curveball from Blake Boyer like he did against Kenta Maeda of the Dodgers when he watched that slow breaking ball early in the game and then filed it away. I'll see that again. And when I do, I'm going to crush it. He got one, just missed it.
Ryan Braun. Oh, Boyer, who really had a rough time of things in that 11th inning Friday night, is so far today retired all 5 he's faced, and now he'll work to Yasmani Tomas.
Carlos Stanton with another home run today. This one only went 380 feet, a full 124 feet shorter than the one he hit yesterday.
And they still counted it?
It was a bunt.
Marlins lead the Rockies 10-7 in the 9th inning at Coors. Ichiro a triple for his 3,000th hit. Dodgers and Red Sox are underway. Boston leads at Dodger Stadium 1-0. That's David Price and Brandon McCarthy. Giants lost 1-0 in Washington. Addison Bumgarner started that game. Padres at home. They trail the Phillies 6-5 in the 8th inning. A rocket to Carter at first. And we are through 8 innings. We'll head to the 9th. It's 9-3 Diamondbacks.
In Gila River game nights by signing up at one of the interactive kiosks located right here at Chase Field during any Diamondbacks regular season home game.
We like to work at our own pace.
Leading off for Milwaukee, right fielder.
9th inning here at Chase. Diamondbacks with a chance to win this series. Take 2 of 3 from Milwaukee. 9-3 as we start the 9th. Kirk Nieuwenhuis, who on his 29th birthday today, has struck out all 3 times he's been up there. And he'll face the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks. It's Jake Barrett. And a dominant outing against the Brewers Friday. Retired all 3 he faced on 7 pitches. 46 appearances, a 3.57 ERA. D-backs lead at 9-3. They have out-hit Milwaukee 12-4. Two-run homers in the game by Jake Lamb and Phil Gosselin, both in the 5th inning. Ricky Weeks Jr. has an RBI single. Chris Owings an RBI triple. The Brewers have committed 3 errors. There's a strike. 2-1 on Nieuwenhuis. Nieuwenhuis is 0 for 7 in the series. He has struck out 5 times. Three and one. Now, can you really go and get the sombrero on your birthday?
Oh, sure.
He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. 3-2 now in the 9th inning. He turns 29 years old today. Ooh. Blow out the candles. A leadoff walk.
Center fielder, Keon Broxton.
Keon Broxton has walked twice. A truncated version of Diamondback Live postgame show follows our ball game. Joe Borowski and Todd Walsh. We're on an airplane right as soon as this one is over. We fly to New York. Off day tomorrow. Zach Greinke on the mound Tuesday night for the first of 3 against the Mets at Citi Field. We'll have that ball game for you. That'll be a 4:10 first pitch here in Arizona. 4:10 on the first 2 games Tuesday and Wednesday. Greinke versus Matz and Robbie Ray versus Bartolo Colon. A 9:10 a.m. start Thursday. Godley and Syndergaard. Called strike 3. Broxton strikes out for the 2nd time today.
First baseman, Chris Carter.
Chris Carter now. Yes, he went, Brian O'Nora. Slider missed, and it's 2-1 on Carter. He is 1 for 9 in this series with a single. He has struck out 4 times. Gets this one up in the air, sends Tomas back to the track. 2 outs.
If I heard correctly, the Phillies just turned a triple play in that game against the Padres.
Was it yesterday we were talking about triple plays?
Yesterday or the day before about Brooks Robinson, yeah, hitting into 4 triple plays over the course of his career.
A 5-4-3 triple play. Mike Butcher to the mound as Manny Pena, the backup catcher, will hit for Martin Maldonado. Manny Pena, just 3 games with Milwaukee this year. Called up from the minors after they traded Jonathan Lucroy to Texas at the trade deadline. So they go over the game plan for Pena with 2 outs in the 9th inning of a 9-3 game. Pena has played all season with the Brewers AAA team in Colorado Springs. He hit well there, .329 with 5 homers. He is 2 for 5 so far as a big leaguer this year. 29 years old, 12 seasons in the minor leagues. Manny Pena.
Speaking of the minor leagues, the Indians have a minor leaguer by the name of Francisco Mejia that extended his hitting streak to 47 games for the Lynchburg Hillcats last night.
Carolina League.
I don't care what league you're in, 47 games in a row.
Manny Pena dunks a base hit into right field. Nieuwenhuis stops at second.
Pinch hitting for Blaine Boyer, number 18, Ramon Flores.
Ramon Flores will hit for Boyer, the pitcher now. 2 on and 2 out. Flores just 2 hits in his last 24 at bats. He is hitting .204 on the year. 24-year-old left-hand hitter. Nieuwenhuis is at second and Pena at first. And Flores has really struggled at the plate. It goes back to the beginning of last month. Since July 4th, he's hitting .098. He has gone 6 for his last 61 at the plate. What happens when you're trying to get a base hit to get on the interstate?
That's not good.
Yeah.
Trying to escape secret agent status. Agent 098.
Not licensed to kill. But he's ahead of Barrett 2-0. Jake Barrett having trouble throwing strikes. 18 pitches and only 8 of them in the strike zone. He's behind on Flores 3-0. They walked the leadoff man Nieuwenhuis, then a 2-out single by Pena. Well, there is action in the Diamondback bullpen, and Jake Barrett is having a rough go of it here. 2 walks and a single in the 9th, and they'll get busy down there. Randall Delgado, I believe that's Robbie Ray there.
You're right.
On the right, yeah. Robbie Ray, who was scheduled to pitch and start that game Wednesday in New York. We saw Zach Godley get into the ball game last night. He's going to start on Thursday. And so Chip Hale is saving some of these bullpen sessions between starts for his starters in case he needs help in the bullpen, and that might be the case again today. Bases loaded, 2 down for the dangerous VR. A home run back in the 3rd. He's also walked twice. Nieuwenhuis is the runner at 3rd, Pena at 2nd, and Flores at 1st. Oh, and 2. Let's wrap this thing up and get out of here and on to New York with a series win.
Diamondbacks have only won 1 of their last 12 series. They did split 2, the 2-game series with Toronto and the 4-game series at Colorado.
0-2 2-2 on Jonathan VR. Yikes. One-two pitch. In the dirt, 2-2. Already a 23-pitch inning for Jake Barrett. He's walked 2. $13 balls, 10 strikes. 2-2 on Jonathan VR with the bases full. Ball game. Diamondbacks win it 9-3. They win the series and beat the Brewers, and it's on to New York.
Really good to see the offense bust out the way they did today. We talked about it before with the status of the pitching staff. The offense is going to have to put crooked numbers on the board with regularity to win ball games, and they were able to do that today.
They sure were. Lots of Diamondback offense here. A pair of 2-run homers and an RBI triple all in the same inning. That 5-run D-backs 5th, and they take 2 of 3 from Milwaukee. So let's begin a truncated version of Diamondbacks Live postgame show. I'm not letting that one go.
No, you shouldn't.
Here's Todd Walsh. Todd.
It's abbreviated a little bit, just a little bit. All right, here we go. Joe Borowski, you've taught me one thing. It's always a challenge around here of late, right? But they get off on the road on a high note.
Yeah, great job today by the offense. Really came out. I thought they put together some really good at-bats tonight.
Okay, we'll look at that. Plus Archie Bradley, an interesting outing to say the least. So we'll wrap that up from here. When we come back in just a moment, we begin Diamondbacks Live, presented by CenturyLink. Standard fare here. We'll get up to Bob Brenly, his take on a couple of things that we saw today. Jody Jackson down at field level. She'll be efforting an interview outside the Arizona Diamondbacks dugout and in the clubhouse, plus manager Chip Hill at the top of our show. So Diamondbacks Live comes up when we come back after the Diamondbacks defeat the Milwaukee Brewers in the 3rd and final game of this series. 9-3. They take the series 2 games of 3 before they head off to New York and Boston. We'll be back right after this.